Morning again. My name is Lungile Sithole. I'm the project officer for the National Shelter Movement. Okay, I'm gonna put my video on. Okay, so my name is Lungile Sithole from the National Shelter Movement. I'm project officer for the National Shelter Movement. It has 6 minutes past 9 already, and I think that we can start. And please note that the chat issue, Melanie will sort it out shortly. And then welcome everyone who joined. Miss Anissa will be joining us very soon. She has an interview at the radio station, but she'll be joining us very soon. So from now on, I would like to welcome everybody who has joined, and this is our second webinar on Ukuthwala. So what we're going to do now is I'm opening the floor for everyone to just tell us how are they feeling today and what your expectations are. So anyone can start. Thank you.
Good morning,
Sorry. My name is Karen. I'm doing well, just tired after a long year. And I love to learn more about the cultural challenges and practices that we experience here in South Africa.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Morning, everybody. I'm doing well, but the end of the year fatigue is with me. But I'm looking forward to the session today.
Thank you so much. Themba Hlophe, your mic is on. You can talk.
Morning, everyone. I'm Themba Hlophe from Spephile. I'm from Spephile.
Morning, Themba. What your expectations today?
To hear about Ukuthwala, the whole information about Ukuthwala.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You're welcome to unmute yourself and tell us how you're feeling for today and what your expectations are.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayaka Hapia. I am a deputy chairperson in Mpho Pride movement. Well, this is actually my first time, and my expectations are not that much. That's to learn about Ukuthwala and the protection of the victims of the illegal Ukuthwala.
Thank you so much, Ayaka. Someone else, you can unmute yourself. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Apologies for the tech issue on the chat. It has now been enabled. As well as I see Ntombi Zikona's hand is up. Thank you.
I'm Mpho Justice Pitso. Feeling good at the end of this year, but more than anything else, I'm looking forward for a productive and an informative session on Ukuthwala today.
Thank you so much. Somebody else or anybody else wants to introduce themselves and let us know what their expectations are for today. And please don't forget to register on the chat, your name, surname, organization, and your email address. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tandwe Mashazi. I'm from the Commission for Gender Equality. I'm also looking forward to learning more about the culture of Ukuthwala and to engage further. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Iso Mlauzi. I'm from El Dorado Park Women's Forum. I'm more interested to know more about what the law says about it. Thank you very much.
Good morning, colleagues. Elma Kloppers from Social Development in the Victim Empowerment Program at Western Cape Head Office. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to this processes, to learn more about the processes and the environment and what we as professionals need to know of developments that is taking place in the sector. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson and colleagues. I'm Goodness Mia, coming from Department of Social Development in the Eastern Cape, from the program Childcare and Protection Services. I would like to learn more about the new concept that relating to Ukuthwala. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sindiswem Simango from Mpumalanga Shelter Movement, also in NSN Relations, is to learn more about how Ukuthwala links to human trafficking and also the relevant legislatures guiding Ukuthwala and how it can be prevented. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think there's still other people that we haven't had. And please, you're welcome to unmute and introduce yourself, your organization, and what are your expectations for today. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Cornelia Mahakwe. I'm from Hillport Clinical Forensic Medical Services. Yes, and my expectation today is the link between Ukuthwala and trafficking in person, especially child trafficking.
Thank you so much. Is there somebody else who would like to introduce themselves and let us know what their expectations are before we proceed? Okay. Thank you everyone for attending, for being here. As I said, for those that just joined, my name is Lungile Sithole. I'm Project Officer for the National Shelter Movement, and Ms. Anisa Muisa will be joining us shortly. And then our topic today with Ukuthwala and trafficking, our guest speaker today will be Mr. Mpho Justice Pitso. Mr. Justice Pitso is a dedicated financial advisor, facilitator, and founder of the Youth Development Program South Africa, an organization committed to advancing and administering sports arts, and culture within public ordinary schools. With a passion for community empowerment and youth development, he plays an instrumental role in educating individuals and families on financial literacy, promoting responsible financial management and long-term sustainability. Through the Youth Development Program South Africa, he leads initiatives designed to reduce substance abuse and teenage pregnancy by engaging learners in positive and creative activities. He is also deeply involved in gender-based violence prevention education, working with both students and parents to promote safety, respect, and awareness. His advocacy includes a special focus on empowering the boy child, fostering responsibility, leadership, and respect as long-term strategies to reduce gender-based violence and femicide. His work reflects a strong commitment to education, leadership, development, and social responsibility. So today we will be graced by Mr. Justice Pitso, and I think he was struggling to log in. And then as we continue, is there someone who would like to tell us or to share what their understanding of Ukuthwala is? You are welcome to unmute yourself.
Good morning once again. My perspective of Ukuthwala is the process of using traditional ways, traditional medicines and procedures to gain riches and wealth by using sacrifices of human body parts. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayaka. Anyone else who would like to share their understanding of Ukuthwala?
Good morning again, everyone. So my understanding of Ukuthwala is that it's a traditional practice that's involving arranged abduction of a girl or young woman for marriage purposes, often with their family's knowledge. In the past, it was intended to bring families together where a couple wanted to marry but faced obstacles. However, nowadays, Ukuthwala has become abusive, exploitative, and criminal. So yeah, that's my understanding of Ukuthwala.
Thank you very much, Miss Cindy. Mr. Justice Pitso has joined us. Mr. Justice Pitso, you are welcome to share your screen and your presentation. I have already shared your bio with our attendees. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. I don't know is it possible for you to share the presentation from your side?
Thank you so much. I'll ask Melanie to assist.
Please.
Thank you. All right.
Please, thank you.
Okay, so at the moment, you can please introduce yourself to our attendees, to our guests. I have already introduced you briefly, so just a word of welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry. Thank you very much, Lungi. My name is Justice. I am a speaker, I'm a facilitator, I'm a financial advisor, and I am the founder of the NPO by the name YDPSA, which is Youth Development Program, South Africa. Today we going to be speaking on Ukuthwala and the trafficking of girls. So I don't know if the presentation will be displayed on the screen or I should just proceed. Please advise, Silungi.
Hi, Pastor Pitso. Apologies. Anissa actually has a presentation with her and she's not in at this moment in time. Would you be able to proceed? And then as soon as I have it, I will flight it on the screen.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me do this, please. Just a minute.
Or if you do have the presentation on your side, you're more than welcome to share. I've given you permission.
Okay, thank you. Let me see something. Okay. I'm using a phone, so I'm struggling to get it because I explained to Anissa that I don't have my PC with me. So I'm trying to locate it on my phone. I'm trying to locate it on my phone. I'm very sorry for joining late. I had a meeting on my side, so I had to first of all start in that meeting. I've just shared it in the group that you created. Please, if you are able to share it in the screen, that will be very much appreciated.
Perfect. I'm going to open it up now.
That will be very much appreciated. Okay. As I proceed, I would like to say thank you for giving us this platform to engage on an issues that in most cases affects families across our country and in many communities and globally so. So I believe that we all know that the trafficking of girls and the harmful practices of forced marriages often refers to Ukuthwala. So today the purpose is very simple, is to raise the awareness, is to empower the communities, protect the children, and to strengthen the confidence of every girl who may have been harmed or is at risk. So before I can proceed, I've tried to make a slight research, and I've learned that the word is Ukuthwala, not Ukuthwala, because there's a difference. Ukuthwala, it's like a ritual-based thing that, like, for example, I'll go and, commit a certain ritual so that maybe I can be wealthy, so that maybe I can gain power over something. But Ukuthwala, it's then referred to as the abduction of girls and forced marriages and that. So I got an opportunity to make a research on that, and maybe in the future we'll therefore write it as Ukuthwala with a W-A at the end. It's L-W-A at the end because it's a different meaning. So as we proceed to the next screen, please, then we will be looking at to understand that about trafficking. Trafficking, it involves now taking control of a person through deception or abuse. So like the girls are often targeted due to vulnerability and the community factors. So what is actually the trafficking of girls? Let's try to understand that. Now it starts first as being taken, or the recruitment, and then one will be moved from point A to B, and one will be kept through maybe deception, threats, manipulation, or the abuse. For the purpose of what? For the purpose of the exploitation. Now, for girls, this can include being taken away from home without true concept. We last time I did mention that there's a program that I was running. So how these guys would recruit, I made a research on that, how the prostitution happens, because now there was a high rate of prostitution that was going on back then in Vereeniging. So my main concern was to understand how do they recruit, how do they go about to get these girls. Now you'd see that it's trafficking. Yes, it might be in the low level, but at the end of the day, I considered it at a high level as well, because these guys, they would approach girls with the intention of saying, okay, I want to be with you, I want you to be my girlfriend, this and this I will do for you, this and that I will do for you. But they knew at the back of their mind that this is just a way to bring them closer. So they would go to as far as spending, no matter how much money they would spend on them. The main purpose was to make sure that they win them over, that they abduct them. So it starts as a level of recruitment, either a level of dating, either in a level of being a friend to one, building that trust, so that at the end of the day, whatever that they bring in the table to say, let's say, for example, come, let's go to my place, then it will be easier for a girl to fall for that. So then with others, then it will be through threats, others will be through manipulation. Now, being manipulated or promised a better life as well, it always contributes to that, because I believe for each and every girl child, one would wish to have a safe and a better life. Remember, a man by nature is a hunter, but there's a saying that says, now, since a man is a hunter, he's meant to take care of a woman. So women, in most cases, are at that stage where they would want to always be taken care of. We can't say that they want simple life, but it's like it's a common thing that a woman would want to be with a man who takes care of them. So then they would promise them that better life. They would promise them that, no, you know what, I'll take care of you. I'll give you everything that you want. And that is only a way to recruit them. And then they then manipulate them with it, the promises of better life, and now being controlled by someone who exploits them emotionally, socially, and then economically. So now I regard trafficking as a crime and violation of human rights, and it is never a child's fault or any woman's fault. Not once, not ever at all, because these people, they come with their own target. So basically, when we speak about trafficking of girls, that's what we refer to. I was sharing with one of the organization that we work with to say, there's a guy, I can't say he's a friend of me now. He was then, until I discovered what he does. So what he does, the stories that I share, it's for awareness. So please, if you are here as well and you find yourself a victim of this, please try by all means to play safe. Try by all means to turn from that. Leave that. So this guy says what he does every Thursday. From Wednesday, he would go to these student races around Pretoria. So he knows where the TUT students are. He would go, build a friendship with them, be friendly with them, laugh with them, the girls. And then Thursday, he goes again, the same thing. Then he would invite them to say, guys, let's go out on a weekend. So then he would spend your 10,000, your 12,000 on alcohol to make sure that they are drunk. Once they are drunk, he would take them from that location to the next location. And that's where the problem starts in most cases. Once you move from your initial location to the next location, that's where the issue is. So he would take them from maybe, let's say they are in the best pub ever, then he would take them from there with his car to say, let's go to my house. They normally use these beautiful Airbnbs, so you won't know that is not his house. So he says, if I have 5 girls with me, I know each girl is worth of maybe 15 to 20,000. So he's going to deliver those girls to these men who wants them. So if it's 4 guys, he would make sure that he get 5 girls. He knows that 1 is for him, and the rest 4 are those that he's going to maybe offer to those men. That is trafficking, according to me. That's why I had to cut the ties with him. I said, no, then that's human trafficking, and it's for his benefit, for the sake of making money out of it. But at the end of the day, one's right is abused. So now, I'm just sharing that with you to say it's very important to understand, moving from one location to the other. Number one, that is the greatest, mistake that one can ever do. And girls, it's important that when you go to, if you want to go to drink, make sure that you have your own money, that you can fund your own, habit, because that's your own habit. It's not his habit, it's your habit. So having said that, let me not be long. Let me move to now. Let us try to understand, when we speak about Ukuthwala, the forced marriages, what is it? What is it that we are referring to when we speak about Ukuthwala, and how does these two maybe work together hand in hand? Please, to the next slide. As we speak of Ukuthwala, Ukuthwala, it's basically a modern forms that involve taking a girl without consent, and culture cannot be or cannot justify that abuse. That's abuse in another level. So now, Ukuthwala as a cultural village, practice, it originally involved families negotiating marriage arrangements between adults who consented. However, in many harmful cases today, it has become taking a girl without an agreement, marrying her off before she is mentally or physically ready, or violating her rights to safety, education, and childhood. Now, the key message will be now, culture must never be used to justify this abuse. In most cases, this happens in the homelands. It will be a girl child who has not yet been mentally, matured, nor understanding what is happening, nor who has never explored. I believe if you are an adult here and you are from the whole homelands, you would relate to this. I've met some women who said, I was married from the age of 14 and it wasn't by choice. I was married from the age of 16 and it wasn't by choice. I was forced to go and marry this girl. Sometimes this happens for the benefit of the families. They would want to gain something. Maybe that man has money to give to the family, or has a lobola to give, or animals in exchange for in order to marry the child. Now, the family's focus would be on, okay, fine, what do we benefit from this? We'll give him our child, but what comes in for us? Remember, the lobola negotiation, it's in 2 ways. I know in my culture, it's in 2 ways. It either goes to the benefit of the family, or it goes to the benefit of those who are marrying. For example, if me and my wife now comes to decide and say, okay, fine, we'll pay the lobola, but that lobola has to come to do our wedding ceremony. And if the families agrees to that, then that will be according. But in other cases, it would be, if I pay lobola, it will have to go to the benefit of the family. The uncles will benefit, the father will benefit, and the mother will benefit something from that. Now, in most cases, this practice happens. It is actually motivated in most cases by the poverty, or parents intending to gain out of that particular child, or looking to benefit. That's why in most cases it will be in a forceful way, that the child will feel that, no, it wasn't my intention. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't want to go there, but I was forced to be there. So having said that, today, Lungi, I heard that we have a testimony relating to what I've just explained. I don't know if you are going to proceed with the testimony before we can move into why girls are being targeted, so that we can clearly understand how Ukuthwala works.
Thank you so much. Yes, we are going to proceed. So the story today is it was written by Fikile Crowley, who gave us consent to read her story. The title is I Did Not Drown, I Survived. I was 14 years old when I was raped by the stranger. I say the stranger because there was no relationship between me and that person. He was old and I was a kid who knew nothing about love. He destroyed my life. I was a virgin. He broke my virginity without my consent, and I fell pregnant in that rape. I did not know that I was pregnant, and I did not report the rape or tell anyone about it. I was ashamed and scared that I will be blamed and punished. And I blamed myself. I thought maybe I had done something that attracted that man to rape me. Maybe I didn't scream enough to get help. Maybe I wanted it to happen. I thought about my father. He was going to kill me if he found out. When my other siblings were around the table with our parents, I will sit in the dark corner, not talking to anyone, feeling sorry for myself. My mother suspected I was pregnant. Now I had to talk. After many months of isolating myself, finally the truth came out that I was raped and was pregnant from the rape or my rapist. I became a child mother of a very beautiful girl, but after I delivered my baby girl, I did not want to see her or hold her. I did not understand how I came to have a baby. I was confused. I was hurting. The baby was a reminder about what happened to me. I just wanted to forget about everything. But how could I, since I had a baby? It took me 3 weeks and help from psychologists to accept that baby in my arms. My mother took full responsibility for the baby. She raised her to become a beautiful girl who I fell in love with at a later stage. Today she is 29 years old. I have become her buddy and she calls me sister, abducted to be a wife. But believe me, my love was not honey and roses. When I was 18 years old, I was taken away from my parents by that same stranger to be his wife. They call this Ukuthwala in Zulu. I did not love that man. He abducted me and he sent the lobola to my parents while I was locked inside his house for 2 weeks. Everything was done without my consent. Believe me, it is very, very painful situation to be in. My parents accepted the lobola and I had no choice but to stay there as a wife. Even though I did not want to, I had to obey my parents and not disappoint them by making them give back the lobola that was paid for me. After 2 weeks, they let me out of the locked room and I was given the muti and cuts were made all over my body by a person who was a traditional healer, Inyanga. I started the process of being a wife. I would wake early in the morning to fetch water from the river far from the home, all alone. After that, I would walk a long distance to collect firewood. It was not easy, but I had to do it. I had no choice. I was expected to do everything at that house. It was a big rural homestead with 6 rondavels and one 5-roomed house. I cooked for my husband's large family. I fetched water for all of them, washed clothes for all of them, cleaned for all of them. But even though I did all these things for them, I was not appreciated. My mother-in-law hated me. She was a heavy drinker. She will go out every morning to drink alcohol and she will come back late in the evening. She will swear at me, call me names, and shout at me when she came home. She will tell me that she hates me and she does not want me at her house because I am useless and stupid and I don't deserve her son. This will go on each and every day of my life. But I respected them, I obeyed them, I stayed, and I persevered. You know why? Because I thought that the person who was called my husband loved me. He was working and staying in Johannesburg. He was not around when his mother abused me. He was not aware that my life was a living hell with its family. He used to come home 3 times a year and he showed that he cared about me. Every time he came home, he brought nice things for me, like big pockets of sweets, chocolates, first grade apples, oranges, bananas, beautiful clothes and shoes. That was sign of love, wasn't it? I thought so. Even though I was not in love with the guy, I learned to live with him. My wedding day. After 3 years, our parents decided we must get married. The wedding was prepared. The day came. It was the 31st of April 1994. It was going to be a white wedding. I was wearing a wedding gown and he was in his tuxedo. We had many bridesmaids and best men, 4 people from each one of us. The sun was shining and people were in their bright dresses. The colors of the day were peach and red except my wedding gown, which was white. No one knew or could feel how I was feeling. No one asked how I was feeling. People were over the moon about wedding. I was not given the time of expressing my emotions. I did not even choose the wedding gown I was wearing. That day, I don't know who chose it for me because I was told to go and fetch it. It was just like that. I wanted to collapse and die on the spot. I wanted to just vanish. I didn't want to be there. Believe me, to other people, it was the best day of their lives. But to me, it was like my funeral day. It is where I started to be angry. I felt resentment I never felt in my life. A week after the wedding of my husband, a week after the wedding, my husband left to Johannesburg, where he was working as a carpenter in a furniture factory. He left me for 3 years with a 5-year-old child. We were left there. He did not send money. We were on our own. I was just a housewife. I was not employed. We needed food to eat, clothes to wear. Winter or summer, he was not there for us. On holidays, other men came from Johannesburg, but he did not come. It was so hard to explain to my family. I felt they were the ones who put me in that situation. They have given me away without my consent. So why did I have to tell them that what was going on in my marriage? I didn't tell them. I was a married woman, but my husband was nowhere to be found. Trying to leave, pressured to go back. At the end of the 3rd year, I decided to leave the marriage. I went back home. I stayed with my family and started to look for a job so that I could take care of my child's needs. My mother and my brother helped me. After a 4 year, my husband came to my mother's house and claimed that he wanted to take me back. I refused to go with him because I did not want him anymore. But my family told me that I have to forgive him because he came to ask for forgiveness. I told them that I forgave him, but I did not want him back in my life. That was not enough for my family and for him. He wanted me back and he wanted to take me with him. I was told that I must go with him because he paid lobola and he married me because I am his wife. And to be a good wife, it's to forgive and let go. So I was forced to go with him. He promised to love and take care of me and my child, and everyone at home believed him. That is how I came to Johannesburg. My husband was employed and living in Johannesburg. To tell the truth, I was excited to come to Johannesburg. It was the place I always dreamed to be in. My daughter was left with my mother because she was at school. There was no way she was coming with us. And she was happy to be with my mother because she grew up knowing her as mother. So she had no problem of letting me go. Life in Johannesburg, dreams and reality. Let me tell you, as we were traveling to Johannesburg, I was sitting next to him. He was driving. I looked at the mountains we passed on the way. I looked at the beauty of the valley, at God's creation. I totally forgot about him even while he was next to me. I was daydreaming about my life in Johannesburg. My dream was to be a nurse. On my way to Johannesburg, I thought my dreams could come true. My husband's weight showed me that he cared about me. It was like he was reading my mind. At last, he said something I wanted to hear. He told me he wanted me to be educated so that we could help each other financially. At last, he wanted me to do something that will change my life. After a month in Johannesburg, I was surprised to see my husband enter our room carrying a 6-month-old baby girl. I was shocked to find out that the 4 years he has been living with a woman who was the mother of his baby. He told me that the baby's mother who lived in Johannesburg has given him the baby. He could not reject her. I must look after her. I felt like he had brought me to Johannesburg to be his slave. He did not prepare me for this. There was nothing I could do. It was not easy, but I accepted the baby. I took care of her, washed her nappies, bathed and fed her, took her to the clinic. I was there for this baby even when sick. She was innocent and knew nothing. The following year, in 2000, I registered at a school for nursing. I learned healthcare for 6 months and I was employed at Sandringham to take care of elderly people. I enjoyed working there and I just felt in love and with elderly people. After 1 year and 6 months, my contract was terminated. But because I was a hardworking student, when the Netcare Rent Clinic needed a care worker, they recommended me to the Rent Clinic, and I worked there as a nursing assistant in the ICU. Believe me, my dreams were really coming true, and I didn't know I was observed. At the end of 2002, the matron called me to her office and told me that there was an opportunity for me to study further at the Netcare Nursing College. I was excited. I can't explain the joy in my heart. I told my husband the good news.
Lungi,
Hello?
Lungi,
Yes? I can hear you. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear.
we can.
Yes, we
Yes, we
are.
can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, I'm going to continue. I'm almost done. I only have one page only.
Please.
Okay. So, okay, I told my husband the good news. And this is where the problem started. He got very angry. He was furious with the fact that I was going to study further. And this was going to be an opportunity for me to be somebody. He told me that he did not bring me to Joburg to study. Things got worse before getting better. My husband forced me to leave my dream because of his selfishness. My life became very difficult. He started to become aggressive and violent. He started beating me. He abused me verbally, physically, emotionally, and financially. I was isolated from my family and friends. My husband will beat me if the baby cried. He will beat me if she played and became dirty. My husband turned my life into a living hell. He did not allow me to watch TV. When he came home and found me watching TV, he will be furious. When I heard his footsteps, I would stand up, afraid to let him find me sitting. I will not know what to do. I will just walk around the house. One day, his girlfriend, the mother of his child, called at his work and claimed that I had abused her on the telephone. I told him I had not phoned her. I did not even know her phone number, but my husband believed her, and he beat me so badly that I ended up in hospital bed. My bruises, pain, suffering, and disappointment did not discourage me. In fact, it gave me the strength to go forward, working hard for the goals I wanted to achieve. After I came out of hospital, I met a lady who was employed by NISA Institute for Women's Development. She was very friendly. She didn't judge me, but she introduced me to the organization. I learned that they are helping women in my situation. I started to open up and told her about my situation. They arranged counseling for me with a social worker. I went for counseling and then I went for classes to become a counselor. I was employed by NISA as a permanent volunteer. I was paid for working 3 days a week. This is how my life started to flourish. The support NISA gave me went far. I registered as an auxiliary social worker with Ukuthwala College, and I registered with the South African Council for Social Services Profession as a student social auxiliary worker. NISA then employed me as a staff member. After I finished my auxiliary social worker certificate, I was encouraged to get a driver's license. A year after getting my license, I bought my own car, a red Hyundai Accent. Red is my color of inspiration. I loved my car and I named him Blessing because to me he was a blessing from God. I am now studying with UNISA for a degree in social work. From zero to hero, that is who I am. I didn't believe that would see myself in the streets of a big university called UNISA. The first time I arrived there, it was not really me because of where I come from, and no one ever thought that I can be at the university. That is my success story. I don't think I'll ever be over all that has happened in my life. It makes me angry every time I think about it. The pain is still there. I'm glad to be part of the book project because writing helped me to deal with my demons face to face. and this helps me emotionally and psychologically. Writing this story took me from where I was to be a new creation of God, facilitating a future where I am talking about letting go of the past. My mind was opened by writing my story, and now I have to make the hardest decision of my life, the decision to end my marriage. It took writing to see this. It opened my mind and brought a new awareness in my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lungi. So that is the story. I believe that most of us do understand that it relates to a few things that I've just touched on when it comes to Ukuthwala, the abduction of women or girls. The like this woman was forced now to be married to this man. It all started as a rape. From rape, now it was a forced marriage. So in most cases, this will be due to our cultures, because now culturally they will say, no, since you have a child with this man, then you are now forced to be married to him. So I still stand and say now that culture must never be used to justify this bad behavior, this wickedness. I regard it a wickedness. So in that, culture shouldn't be used as to justify that behavior. Now, moving forward, let's now touch on why are girls the main target, or why girls are targeted. This does happen as well to men, but 95% of times it would be a girl that becomes a victim. So, but why do girls fall victim? Why girls are targeted in this? Now, in most cases, as I have mentioned, few of those, that it would be due to the poverty. It does contribute that parents would always want to gain something from that particular individual. That, no, if you are married to that family, then we know that as your family, we are going to benefit this and that. Now, the trafficking of girls as well, why girls are targeted in that, it's because of still same thing, poverty. Remember, they promise you a good life. If you are in a poor condition, they'll promise you a good life. But in most cases, one who does it as well would be in a poor, poor condition. Because now, as I gave the story of the guy who says one head, it would give him maybe 15,000 to 20,000. It is contributed by poverty, because now he was poor and discovering that, okay, there's this way that I can generate money for myself. Let me get girls and sell them to these guys. After these guys, they perform their ritual, whatever, then I know that I get paid from that. So now poverty, it's always the main contributor of the trafficking that we see of girls, even of boys, the abduction, the forceful marriages. Poverty is always the contributor to those as well. Now, the inequality as well, and the limited support. The communities that we grow in, there's not much support, especially education. There's no much of the educational information to teach us, as to say, be careful of this. If this happens, this will lead to that. Unfortunately, we have few people who are willing to go out there and teach. And it's like 5 people trying to teach 100 people. So before you reach a certain level, already there's 10 people that were abducted, or the trafficking of girls has happened before you can even reach to that. However, we still continue to try and send the information, give the education, as to say, be careful of this and that, so that you don't become a victim. The manipulation and lack of awareness, they are the great contributors. The limited community awareness as well, silence and fear, because the girl child will be afraid to speak out, to say, hey, I'm going through this, or this is what I went through. So because they are not voicing out, there's most people, they don't know how to deal with it or to prevent it. Like if I went to interview these girls that this guy says, I take them from the school and all that. If you would go there, most of them would be ashamed to share with you. So silence becomes a great contributor as well, because they are not confident enough to speak about what happens or what happened, or to share their testimony as to what they have went through. Now, every time there's always a sign, there's always that thing that you know, it will always be offish about the whole situation. So there are signs in most cases. In everything that happens in our lives, we will always get signs. That's why sometimes you'll be like, hey, I could feel it in my conscience that I shouldn't have gone there, but I forced to go there. That's a sign to you that don't go there. That place is dangerous for you. Now, there are signs obvious that will always be there. Now, how do you see that this child might be in that situation? Maybe if you are a teacher, or if you are a parent, or from the community level, or from the neighbors level, how do you then see those signs of a child who's been troubled or who's in trouble? Number one, it might be the withdrawal from the school or community. The child wouldn't want to be engaged or to be interacting with other people because it feels like they can see what this girl is going through. And then another thing will be unexplained gifts or monitored by unexplained gifts or monitoring by older individuals. So like being closely monitored by someone who's older, or receiving unexpected gift, promises, or money. So you will see the child receiving those things, and the child can't explain to you where they come from. Then you should know that that is a sign that there's something that is going on, maybe with that child. The sudden disappearance or the fearfulness. The child is always afraid, scared. If you come walking from behind the child would hide, or those might be the signs that shows to us that there's something that this girl child is going through. So now when you know the signs, now we can try to act before the harm happens. So it's our responsibility as parents, as teachers, as a community, as neighbors, to look out for such signs. Sometimes the signs are there, but we choose to ignore. I normally say to my wife, we have grown to be a selfish and self-centered society, to the point that we don't care what is happening with our neighbors, to the point that most of us, we don't even know the names of our neighbors, especially in the cities. We don't even know what is the name of the person who's staying next to you. We don't even care about that. So I normally say to her, see how the society is. We have grown to be so selfish. And if we have allowed that, then we won't be able to see those signs. We won't be able to notice those signs in that girl child. So now, as we move forward, let us speak about now, what can we do as individuals, as the people that I've mentioned, parents, teachers, when we discover the signs. What are the measures that one could take to make sure that this doesn't happen? Please, let's move to the next slide. So now, what can we do? What are the measures that we can take as the community? Number one, we can try to strengthen families' communication. Try to speak to your children. Try to encourage honesty, discussions at home. Try to be an open book to your children. Speak to them about their relationships, the online safety. Speak to them about peer pressure at school. What are they facing when they are around other girls? Because sometimes this comes as a form of peer pressure, that one girl will come at a short skirt, and then she would portray that I'm more beautiful in a short skirt. And then she would feel as well that, oh, I must wear the same as well. So sometimes that does contribute, the peer pressure does contribute, the consent and the boundaries to a girl child. You as a parent need to teach that. I was talking to someone, I said, I appreciate how you are educating your kids. It feels like he's discouraging them, but on the other hand, he's building pride in them. to say, as a girl child, you are beautiful, but you don't need any other man to tell you that you are beautiful. You are beautiful, my daughter. As long as myself, as your father and your mom tells you that you are beautiful, you need to know that you are beautiful. Don't wait for anyone. That's building confidence. And that is another way of, teaching that child to build the boundaries. If a man would come and say, you are beautiful, the child will react and say, no, why are you telling me I'm beautiful? I know that I am, because already you have encouraged that. You've tried to be to strengthen that family communication. And then the second thing, it will be the community watchfulness. Let's try as a community to play a role. Years back, we would hear that it takes a community to raise a child, but nowadays we don't even want people to come close to our children. We don't want anyone to touch our child. But let's try as the community to play a role as well in watching out for unusual movements. I know it's hard today to call out a neighbor's child, because, the mom will react, the dad will react, this and this. But try, to spot those unusual movements. The older individuals preying on young girls from the community. If you can't talk to them, at least you can find ways to report it somewhere to someone. There's always a way to report these things. And then you can try to, watch out for families being pressured or bribed. You can try to chip in and assist where you can. And then let's try and prioritize education as the community as well. It's very important that we strengthen the education, because education strengthens a girl's confidence and reduces vulnerability. An educated girl, according to my experience, they are more confident than those who, are lesser educated, because they take pride on the education, the degree, this and that they have. So it's very important to encourage a girl child to be as educated as possible. Now, moving forward, as we are about to finish, let's now have a look at the next slide, where now we are looking at if you suspect the harm, you need to stay calm, you need to observe, try to report to the SAPS or the social workers, the schools, and do not confront the suspect alone. That's what I spoke about when I said sometimes we can't confront that child, but there's always a way to report. There's always someone to talk to. And then let's try to support as well the victims. If you spot that someone is a victim of rape, is a victim of trafficking, it's a victim of forced marriage, please try to provide safety and dignity for that individual. Don't just speak anyhow. Don't just be rude to the person. Stop saying, like people say, that these girls they do this, and it's not by mistake that they are in there. Listen, there's no one who chooses to be a victim. So stop being fooled and use such words to say, no, if she didn't dress like this wouldn't have happened. At least the least you could do is to teach that child how to dress well than to judge. So now let's try as well to encourage education and counseling. Let's avoid stigma and gossip. If you spot that one is a victim, please try to avoid gossiping about the child. And then moving to the last statement. So one thing, never try to instigate alone. Professional help is the safest way to approach each and every matter that you come across. To the next slide, please. As we are about to conclude, now I just want to say to each and everyone who was once a victim, who maybe were once a victim of rape, you were once a victim of forced marriage, maybe you are now currently a victim of abuse, or you are going through difficulties, or some of the points that we've touched on are exactly things that you are going through. You need to know this, that your voice matters. So your voice is important. You are not defined by what happened. If you are a victim, it has happened. Yes, it has happened. You can't change the past, but we can always better the future. So don't allow yourself to be defined by what happened, and your future is bright, but it all depends on you to make sure that it becomes as bright as possible. You have a right to safety, you have a right to education, and you have a right to education, but bear in mind that your future is bright, is powerful, and is deserving. We stand with you, not against you. So you are so don't punish yourself. Don't feel like you don't belong simply because you went through this. I'm afraid to say maybe it was meant to happen, but I'm more confident to say you should never be defined by what has happened to you. Now, in closing, next slide, please. The next slide, please. Hello. Now, in conclusion, I want to say to all of us here who are listening, protecting girl is a shared responsibility. It is not only the responsibility of their parent. It's not only the responsibility of their people who are around them, but it's a responsibility of each and every individual. Protect that girl, even if you don't know her, even if you don't know where she's from, but fight by all means to protect that girl child. Now, community must act together. This thing of taking videos when bad things are happening, I don't recommend it. I don't like it, and I hate it with all of my heart, because you're taking a video while someone is killed. What did you do to prevent that from happening? A child is raped. Instead of trying to prevent that from happening, you rather take out your phone, open the camera, and make the video. Yes, sometimes it does help for a footage, but maybe imagine now you have the footage, but the girl child is raped already. She's going to live with that forever. And the only thing you can produce is the footage to say, yes, it happened. How about preventing it from happening at all so that that child can grow with the trauma? So now I say, as a community, it's time that we stand together. And there I say, again, a safe girl becomes a strong woman to the community. By so saying, that will be all from me. And thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justice, for a very, very informative presentation, but I think also one that a lot of us can relate to in terms of observations, in terms of what goes on in communities. I'm going to open up for comments or questions if anybody has. I know there has been requests to share the presentation, and just to double check, Justice, that you're okay with that we can share the presentation with participants.
Yes, you can. You can answer. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Are there any questions from anybody? Anyone would like to comment? No. Okay. All right. So I think, just to wrap up, and most of you already, or some people attended the first workshop on Ukuthwala. And that, like we said, we thought we would complement it with one around the community perspective. And I'm hoping that they complemented one another, and now there's a better understanding. I think that human element, the people element, the community element was important for us. And we really appreciated the shares during this presentation. To Mr. Justice Pitso, I'd like to extend a hearty thank you to you for, I know you've been really busy these few days or weeks, I'm not sure. I really appreciate the time you've taken since the Indaba, and I appreciate the connection made at the Indaba. And I look forward to us engaging in the future on ongoing projects. To all of you who took the time to attend, I hope some of your expectations were met. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. This is our last one for the year. We hope to have another webinar in the second part of January, and I hope that you will join us for that one as well. On that note, I'd like to thank everybody again and wish you a great day going forward. I just see that there are some comments coming through. So Josephine, just see, it was insightful information, and we really need to work hard in eliminating the victim blaming and looking forward to more information. Yes, unfortunately, after so many years of working in the space, there's still stereotypes, there's still blaming, there's still faults, looking people taking out people's faults. And I think that still then speaks to the gender norms, the stigma, the discrimination. And we still do have a lot of work still to do around stigma and discrimination. So on that note, everybody, take care. And like I said, have a great day. And bye.
Bye-bye, colleagues.
Bye.
Bye-bye.